So thanks, Tanya, for being here today. I'm like super stoked to talk to you.
Thanks for the invite. This is exciting. I'm so proud of you.
Aw, thank you. I'm just going to start it off with something super cash. And I guess that would be, what's a job or a dream that you had as a kid that felt totally possible back then?
I wanted to be a teacher. I used to line my dolls up on the side of my bed and teach them lessons.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Not a mother. I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay. What inspired that for you, do you think?
I don't know. I've always just had a passion for like learning. Yeah, it's always been a thing right from being young.
You actually remember playing with your dolls?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
So what kind of stuff did you try to teach them back then?
I loved math. Ventured into accounting after that, strangely.
When you think back to childhood then, what would be the most ridiculous thing that you believed as a kid that still makes you smile?
I learned how to be an adventurous big thinker as I got older. I don't know if I was really a huge dreamer as a young kid.
But maybe you just thought you could fly or something like that too.
No,
Like, you know.
I was way too logical for that.
It was way too logical.
Honestly, maybe I just didn't dream big enough then or wasn't afraid of anything or I don't know.
Yeah, but that's actually very
realistic.
common as a kid. You know, we don't have those things that really hold us back so much as when we become older. So it sounds like back then you thought you could do whatever.
Yeah.
What's a moment of hope or healing that you've experienced that you think others might find surprising?
Oh man, I have struggled a lot through loss, just of very important people in my life, lots of them, death, loss. And a lot of people, when they talk to me, they're like, how are you surviving? So I think that's probably been my biggest thing that I've been able to just overcome and process through is grief.
When you say you've lost a lot of people, would you be comfortable sharing with us who?
Yeah, started off at 18. I lost my dad to brain cancer. A couple of years after that, my best friend got killed in a car accident. Then I lost 3 of my 4 grandparents. And then my brother died. When I was 36. That was probably the toughest one. And then recently I lost a stepson to suicide. And then my mother passed away 9 months after that. And then just most recent, my last third of the 4th grandparents passed away in December. So it's been quite a bit.
That's a lot of loss.
Many close relatives and friends. It was like intimate people in my life, my close circle. So yeah, it's been challenging. There's definitely been moments where you've like look upstairs and wonder why.
Yeah. And what would you say was like the biggest thing that helped get you through that?
My foundational habits, I think, helped me survive through the toughest times because it could always come back to I need to get out into the sunshine. I need to eat right. I need to walk. I need to exercise and move my body. I need to read positive things. I need to put positive things into my brain. Obviously, when the tragedy first happens, that's the last thing you're thinking of. But 2 or 3 weeks after the funeral, you're like, hey, I need to get back to myself. And the only way to do that is to come back to the core habits of your everyday for me. And that was, you know, at the time, young kids, you get up, you get the kids off to school, and I need to take care of me. Because if I don't take care of me, then I can't take care of anyone else. And so that was how I got through it.
When you say taking care of you, I often hear, especially women, who like put themselves last and take care of everybody else. So how did you do that? Invest in yourself at that time?
You know, I read a book when I was in my 20s of this lady who had 10 children. And at the time I had 3 of my own and 6 foster kids. So I was close to 10, right? And I'm like, how does she do it, right? Yeah. Look to someone who's already done it. And I read this book and it was like, she specifically said, I put myself first next to God. It's me and then my husband and then my kids.
Wow.
And I thought, that sounds so selfish. And then the more I thought about it and the more I read her story, I was like, no, like, how can I be who I need to be for everybody in my life if I've got nothing left to give at the end of the day? And so by filling myself up, making sure that I was like whole, I had more to give. Yeah, I just started living that. ever since then, 20 years or more ago.
Wow.
I'm important too.
I think that lots of people struggle to put themselves first. Like there's this guilt factor. I don't know how many people I've heard say, I feel guilty taking time for me. What would you say to them about the guilt?
Well, where does guilt come from? Where is that rooted, honestly, is the first thing to look at. And then why would you feel guilty about taking care of you so you can be better for someone else? Like that doesn't make any sense. If you're doing it selfishly, taking up 6 or 8 hours of your day for yourself and giving nothing to anyone else, then I could see where guilt might come in. But to take an hour in the morning to stay healthy, plan your day, get in touch with, God, whatever your spiritual connection is, that's only going to make you a better human for everyone else. And the shame or guilt from that shouldn't even be, should never come.
That's really beautiful. When you think about a moment back to like say one thing that you've like really accomplished or transformed in your life that still feels like really meaningful to you, what would that be?
I'm most proud of my kids, to be honest. Besides being a mom, when I was wanting to be a mom when I was a kid and the teacher thing, I really just wanted to be a really good present mom. I had an awesome mom. I wanted to really be present for my kids. It didn't always work out that way. I was a single mom for raising a lot of them, but I did my very best to take care of me so I could take care of them. And they're beautiful humans. I look at them and my heart smiles because they're so individual, productive, kind human beings. And I think I did a good job.
Yeah, I think you did too. Okay, so then you said you went through all these different losses and things. And so like, how did you keep perspective then when like all these things felt kind of like uncertain around you or maybe even overwhelming?
I think I learned early that sometimes when you're in the eye of the storm, it's hard to see clearly what the big purpose is, but just knowing that there is a big purpose. There's always a plan. There's always a reason for what's happening for you, and not to you, but what's happening for you. And when we're in those deep, dark places or hard times or, financially, bankruptcy, divorce, all of that, it's keeping that perspective of, what's next, what's coming now, what's the new thing that's going to develop out of this for me, instead of dwelling on just like what the bad is.
That's interesting that you say that because I literally just had a conversation about that yesterday where I was saying there's this crazy stuff. Like I have a friend right now who's like terminal and just, it's been really brutal watching him go through this. And it's almost like a copycat of my father's passing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this happening? Why is this going on around me? But I'm looking at it with a curiosity and I'm wondering what the gift is in it.
I personally believe in God, and the things that we go through, I think that if we don't take the pain, if we don't look for the lesson and then help the next person through, then it is going to feel like a waste and hard for no reason. But now going forward, what you've experienced as loss, now you can relate to that person who's losing their dad in that way or whatever that you never could have before. And maybe the purpose was to make their life easier. So just trying to find those little things that just be like, okay, what can I learn today from this experience? If it was a mistake, so I don't make it again, or if it's something that was beyond my control, what can I learn from it and how can I help the next person make it easier for them?
And with the grief that you've experienced, would you say that that's been something that you've actually supported other people through? Has that come back around in that way?
You know what? I was just actually having a conversation with someone at lunch today, and just this week alone, I ran into another lady whose son-in-law died by suicide, was able to kind of empathize with her in a way that I would never have understood if I hadn't lost someone to suicide. I met a gentleman who's now become kind of like a really close friend on the airplane who lost his wife to dementia. My mom, that was the stages she was in at the end of her life. And I never would have understood that. Complete stranger, and we cried together on the plane for 4 hours.
Wow.
So yes, there's a reason, and those friendships that blossom out of that, and that connection, and just making that someone else's journey just a little smoother, and that they realize that someone else has been through this, someone else gets it, someone else feels my pain and understands my pain.
I can only imagine though too, like when you've gone through a sequential number of losses like that, how did you not give up, not throw in the towel yourself?
I mean, I got that after Tyler, my brother, died. I was in a dark place. I actually recognized it in myself and was like, okay, you've got to get back. If you don't, you're going to need some medication or some help at some point. So I wouldn't say there was no dark places. There's definitely dark days and dark moments still. But I think knowing God has a bigger plan always, and that if I'm still here and I'm still breathing, he's not done with me yet. So it's not time to give up.
It's beautiful. If you could think back to a time in your life, because I know, you're a businesswoman, you have several businesses, you've made tons of money, you're a successful woman in business. And so I'm wondering if you could share about a time when you were like really stuck, but then found your way through when it came to going after those goals, those business dreams.
Well, so many times in my life. Business is it's a journey. I think it's always just been the same thing, like being in the eye of that storm and just zooming out of the problem, the current situation. Like, okay, if I was advising this person on this business, like put yourself in the third person, what would I tell them to do? Then looking at other options, like how can I fix it? What can I control? And the things I can control, let's make a plan and do it. And the things I can't, okay, how do we work around? What are the other options? That's what gets me through all of the things. Right now I have 3 storefront businesses plus other things, and it's almost daily. Yeah. Something comes up and I'm like, okay, how am I gonna handle that? Keeping the emotion out of it and mostly just logically, okay, what's the next smartest business move I can make right now?
So when something happens in the business, I've seen where clients, they automatically blame themselves for the failure and whatnot. And how do you detach from that and kind of keep going forward?
I mean, sometimes we make mistakes as business owners that literally will cost us our business if we're not smart. But I don't really consider failure as failure unless I should say, that you have that situation and you don't learn anything from it. I've been bankrupt. I have, been borderline, not enough money for payroll. But when you look back and I'm like, oh, I overspent. I didn't plan properly. I didn't do this. That was my fault. That was the control. How am I going to do better next time? If it's completely out of my control, like COVID, when the government shut your business down for 10 weeks, that's beyond my control. I did everything in my power. So if by chance I had lost my businesses at that time, it wouldn't have been something that it was directly related to me. So I just kind of keep it in perspective of reality of like what was in my control, what wasn't, and what mistakes did I actually make? How am I going to learn from that and not do that again?
That's actually a great perspective, because I think sometimes we blame ourselves for what's not in our control too.
Many people do.
And I mean, you definitely, in the time that I've known you, you have an I can do anything sort of attitude, I think. Like you're really inspirational that way.
Thank you.
And when I've talked to you about things, you don't see barriers for some reason. I don't know, where does that come from?
I think small successes. Like when I was younger, my dad, he just always instilled in me, just be proud, try it, go for it, and it just rings through my head all the time. Tanya, stand tall, shoulders back, you got this. And what are the ways? Like, what are all the options? What can I do to make this work? There's so many people out there to help you. There's so many resources today. AI is incredible. It's just gotten so many ways to look for solutions to what we call problems and figure it out. And then sometimes it's just grit and hard work and going after it after that. So
definitely. But I think there's like this belief. It sounds like it came from your dad. Would you say that it was like his belief in you and his support of you in that way that helped you to be able to be of this mindset now that you can do pretty much anything?
It was a huge part of it for sure. He passed away when I was 18, so that was a tough struggle of like rebuilding that. My other person in my life was my brother. He was my biggest cheerleader, and so losing him was that was a tough one because he was the one I would call when I won, when I lost, when I was having a hard day. So having a support system really makes a big difference, having people around you that believe in you, but not to the point where they puff your head up so big that it's unrealistic and ego driven. It's more just, you got this. You know how to figure it out. You've done this before. I think now it's calling back on that confidence. Like, if they believe in me, I can believe in me.
So remembering their confidence. Well, and yeah, because you lost them fairly young then. So then all these other years that you've been in business, you had ideas, had goals, had things. I mean, you could have like quit and thrown in the towel many, many times. But somehow you've carried this deep belief that you can do it. You could continue. You could reach that goal. I'm just curious, how do other people tap into that?
I think it starts like that self-confidence, and that's just keeping these tiny little promises to yourself every day. So whether it's, I'm going to make my bed every day, and you get up and you make your bed every day, and then you believe in you because you did what you said you were going to do to yourself. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to read a book every day. Like, those tiny little habits creates this belief in you that I'm a person who does what I say I'm going to do. And so then when the next thing comes up, the next challenge or small thing or goal that you have, like, yeah, I've accomplished my goals. I do what I say I'm going to do. And it builds slowly over time, this confidence that, yeah, I got this.
So then what I'm hearing there is actually having that first, thing that you're going to go after. It could be small as making your bed, but doing that and then fulfilling it is actually like fueling the next success, the next one. And is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, it sounds silly.
No.
Yeah, and I teach this even with people with saving and finance and stuff. And like, people always say, oh, I don't have enough money to put aside. I don't care if you put 25 cents in your savings account every month. It tells you you're a saver. 25 cents, 25 cents. One day you're going to have 50 cents and then $1 and then $10 and $100 to put away. But you're a saver, and it's just building up that internal belief of who you are.
That's the ticket right there.
That's the ticket. But we don't just believe overnight.
Yeah.
It's proving to ourselves by small actions that get us to believe over and over and over again.
Well, and I know that you're the author of a book.
Yeah.
Your book is called
Life on Your Terms, How to Get What You Really Want.
Without telling everybody like what the real inside secret in there, what I guess would you say was the big, driver for you to like complete the book, get it done, get it out there?
My brother and I were working on a book together when he died. It was always just a dream to write a book, and that was a fitness book. It was going to be called Muscles by the Russells.
Oh, I like that.
So it always was just a dream in my heart, and I had just felt like there were so many stories that people could be inspired by or learn from my journey. And so it actually happened when I crashed my motorcycle. I was laid up. I couldn't do anything, couldn't work out, and I was like, here's a perfect time to write a book. I have 6 weeks of brokenness. I might as well just sit here and write a book. So I did. I wrote it in 30 days. It was kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh. Most people, when they're like in a motorcycle accident and laid up, they would not be thinking about, I could just write a book right now. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what else was I going to do? And I put it together, and it's basically 7 things that I think are the foundation for creating the life that you've always dreamed of.
I know you always talk about living your life on purpose.
Absolutely.
What does that exactly mean?
It means every day. Purpose scares people. I think the big word, someone thinks you've got to go and save the world. That's your purpose. And if you aren't doing something grandiose, you have no purpose. Purpose to me is every single day living with intention. Like, what are you going to do today? What are you going to accomplish? Whose life are you going to impact? Who are you going to be today in what is going to come across your path? That's purposeful living, like being intentional.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So what do you say to somebody then who's watching this, who feels like they don't have any purpose?
Well, if you're breathing, you have a purpose, first of all. So that's where you start. So it's just changing the thought process. Because if you're here, there's a reason that you're here. And in your everyday interactions, your purpose can just be to make somebody smile. It can be to lift their mood. It can be to let someone in the traffic. That, like, it doesn't have to be grandiose. It's just something kind, something good for humanity. That's purpose. That's why we're here. It's to be better humans and make life better for someone else.
Incredible. Incredible. So you did say you're really proud of your kids, but
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, what's something else that you're really proud of that most people wouldn't guess about you?
Everyone knows this already. I'm really proud of my role right now with the not-for-profit that I'm working with, but that's easy to guess, I think. I'm pretty open about the things in my life and been pretty good at honestly celebrating my wins. So I think most people in my circle know the things that matter to me and that I'm proud of.
All right. Well, we've talked about a lot of different things here, and I appreciate you sharing so openly and so honestly with me. So what's one message that you'd want to share with somebody who's out there who's just like ready to give up on life, their dreams? What would you say?
Never give up on life. As a mom who lost a boy to that, there's always a way out. Giving up on life, somebody loves you, somebody cares. And giving up on your dreams, that hurts my heart.
That somebody would give up on their dreams?
Yeah, I was actually talking with a friend yesterday who said she didn't even know how to dream. And that hurts me when people say that, because to me, it's like, what is dreaming? It doesn't have to be like purpose. It doesn't have to be huge. It can just be that you want something that you don't have right now. And so just maybe simplify it down to like not getting so discouraged that you don't have the fancy things that your neighbor has or that your former coworkers or former classmates had, and you feel like your life isn't as meaningful. It's having your own definition of success, having your own definition of what makes your life good and what's important to you. And other people would look at my life and say, your life isn't very successful, but I'm pretty damn happy. It's just like finding something that lights you up. There is a way. And if you can't find the way right now, go find someone who's done it part way and ask them, what's the next step? And it's just thinking like, what is that one next small thing that I can do to get me there?
Such great wisdom. Such great wisdom. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. It was amazing talking with you about all this. I so appreciate you being here and sharing so openly and so honestly today.
Well, thank you for having me.